Hart?
I would just like, I don't know if it's a directive or future agenda items. I have a question about an email that was sent out today at 2:32 p.m. regards us to come in and potentially sign
Oh, I'm glad you reminded me.
a document. I want to know when we discussed this.
We didn't. You all received on the 30th of December a request from Mike Hansen for a letter of support. This is in response to a grant application. Everybody had equal opportunity to respond. If you didn't respond, that's your choice. I took the initiative to draft a letter of support, and I thought it would be most powerful for the grant requester to have a document signed by the council and the city manager to relay to the PUC, for which he's requesting the grant funding, to give him the best chance to receive those grants. So everybody had equal opportunity to write a letter of support based on the email that you got on 30 December. This is that effort, so I took the initiative. If you'd like to sign it, that would be great. Councilor Klosky.
I don't have any issue with this, with what we're asked to be signed, but I take issue with the process. Because using what you just said, if anybody sent an email, I don't know who that person is, but if anybody sent an email to the entire body requesting a letter of support, I don't think that should automatically trigger something that says on behalf of it says the Claremont City Council supports in that letter that was drafted. So use a different proposal, but if anybody asked us for a letter of support, I don't think that should just automatically trigger a letter. It should be discussed at the next council meeting for us to decide, and that is what has happened in the past.
So that's why it's here tonight, because that was sent on the 30th of December. And this is the first meeting that we have for regular business. And the grant application deadline's the 13th. So I'm not sure what you would like to have been done differently.
That would have been an agenda item, and then we would have discussed it, had some sort of potential presentation, a motion, a second, a vote for a letter of support, then we sign it. Instead, we are asked to come in prior to the meeting or sign it when it's sitting here, having not discussed it with anyone, including the public. So I don't have any issue.
I understand, but we're working with deadlines. Again, I took the initiative. If you don't want me to take the initiative.
I don't want to take the initiative. I appreciate it, but I think that it honestly, it circumvents the public input, the perception. And if you didn't 91A request this, you wouldn't even know we're talking about it right now. And I just think that it puts us in a tough position. I appreciate initiative, but any letter of support from the council has a process. And reading the email that we got from this person, it seems that it went to an email like city clerk. I don't know that we used that email address, but I didn't respond to the email. I get a ton of emails that are from municipal this and that all over the country. I don't respond to those either. I felt that that's a city manager issue that would have come before us as an agenda item. And there may be language in there that we don't agree on. And now we're just asked, here, sign it in support, or don't. We didn't have the opportunity to say, well, I'd like the letter to say, or whatever the language is. And again, I have no issue with that particular letter. It's the process. And if we're doing that for that, I would expect we do that for anybody else that asks for a letter of support, and it just be drafted here waiting for us to sign.
So here's the situation. If this were a new issue that we haven't supported in the past, it's not in the master plan, I would completely understand, because that would be operating outside of what the council has supported in the past, what the master plan has supported. In this case, we had holidays. I worked on this over the weekend. I'm doing it as fast as I can. I spoke to the city manager as soon as he came back from vacation. And if you would like to have a formal process for the letter of support, that's great. It should be a council rule. but this is about somebody who's trying to apply for grants from the PUC. He's got a deadline. He made a request to all members of the council. And again, we have taken tours of hydroelectric facilities. We have talked about it as a council, about the desire to promote renewable energy. It's in the master plan. It's nothing that's outside of the master plan.
So if somebody sends us a letter asking for support of a wind farm that I know nothing about, we should just generate a letter of support because it's in the master plan.
That
We
issue
can't
has
hold-
never come before the council.
But it could,
I would never write a letter
and
of...
it's a different, if it's
If
a
you don't
different
want to
council.
sign it, don't sign it. Councilor Mehta. Councilor Hearn.
I'm just going to say that, obviously from the email that you discussed it, or as you just said, with the city manager prior to even discussing it or bringing it to our attention. And, I'm going to say this again. We're a council of 9. The power is when we're sitting here and we make decisions. I do not send letters of support, outside of this body because I don't think that's right. Because outside, we're just all councilors. When we're here, we're the city council. And it's here that we send directions, okay? Madam Mayor, you are the chair of the council, and if you're doing way too much, then maybe we should take it back. But we, as the council, make decisions whether or not we're going to support something or send a letter or make we can make proclamations, but at the end of the day, it's here. It's not, me being sent an email at 2 o'clock in the afternoon when I'm out of town and saying, hey, specifically says if you could come and sign it either before or during the council meeting this evening. Didn't say, would you look at it and review it, and if you want to support it, sign it. It basically told me to come in and sign it. So
That is not my intent to direct. I thought if I wanted it to be just a letter of support from me, I could have gone that route. But it's a letter, I thought the council would want to be included. I've gone through this discussion before.
we are not included. Time and time again, I feel that we are not included. We get the emails. We get emails from you, usually at the last minute, wanting something.
That is unfair.
No, it's not.
No, it is
Yes, it is.
unfair. This letter of support, I took the initiative after everybody got an email. I had to wait till the city manager was back on to even see if this is in opposition to anything that the city is working on administratively. And then I had to check with Mike Hansen, who is the requester, to make sure it was accurate. When all of those steps were taken, then I sent it to you. Now, I don't spend all 24 hours of my day just doing council business.
Nor do I.
Right. So this is about a letter of support. If the city council does not want to support this person's request for renewable energy and to get a turbine back online that's been offline since 2012, then don't do it.
I don't think that was anybody's point. It's the process. It would have been an agenda item.
If in a perfect world, you are right, and I try very hard to make sure that happens. But I thought on this case, since nobody of the council said anything when they got that email. Anybody could have requested that be, we got this email. Do you want to put it on the agenda? That could have been asked. Councilor Mata.
It could be that because I wasn't on the council on 12:30, but I don't recall seeing the email. It may have come, but I think that what Councilor Kowalski says is correct. It's the process. At 12:30, you could have had this in the packet, and we could.
No, I never wrote it till. I never even did it until after the packet was all sent.
So again, Councilor O'Hearn, I think, has some points about this is a body of 9. And I know you work very hard and do a lot of stuff for the city, but I think that the council should not be an extra administrative arm of the city. We're a legislative body that votes on things, and I think the manager should start drafting things. That's the way it's always been done in the past. and bringing things to the council to consider and doing the research. That's why we pay city staff. And I think that people at the council will feel a lot less threatened if somebody doesn't always bring their work into it, because as mayor, from what I understand reading the charter, you have the same powers as the rest of us, and you run the meeting and you set the agenda. But there's nothing in the charter that says that all this administrative work that you do is your job, and I think that causes friction with other people that sit up here. And it's not that it's not appreciated, because I know you work very hard for Claremont, but I think we all have to start looking at the charter and looking at what we ask the manager to do and get back in line with what the charter says the city is, how the city is supposed to be run. I signed that letter, and I kind of feel bad that I did now, because I really don't know enough about it, but I certainly don't want to mess up someone's grant application either. But I agree, the process was flawed here.
Assistant Mayor Dameron?
Councilor
Okay,
Stone.
Councilor Stone.
How many councilors actually received the email? Because I did not receive that email on the 30th. You received it? Mm-hmm. You received it? I didn't receive it. Did you receive it, Amy?
I did get it. I did get it, but it was directed, it was,
The email is,
No. I'm dead serious. I don't remember.
I got a carbon copy of it asking for us to weigh in. And as I understand it, as I have for years and years, I don't type back, "Dear sir," in that email thread.
You're not supposed to.
Yup.
Violation of 91A.
I never received anything for it.
And I will go on record saying I don't want to be painted in a picture that I don't support this project or this gentleman. We've
point
gone.
was anybody could have receiving that email, could have picked up the phone and talked to the city manager.
I could have, and I didn't.
Did get the email. I don't know if it's on.
What's your thing? Is it jstone.ccc@gmail.com?
Yeah, I don't seem to have
You're
it.
listed on here. Maybe
If this was an agenda item,
Am
if this was an agenda item, we could have waived our council rules as we've done in the
Yes.
past to meet the deadline. That's all I'm saying. I don't have any issue signing it, but it's the process in which we were asked to
Assistant
do
Mayor
it.
Dameron?
Yeah, I guess at 10:03 on Wednesday night, with this, we've hashed through the process. Whether it's good or not good is not where we are at the moment. What is the wish of the council to be done with this letter of support for someone with a project in our community with a grant deadline of January 13th? What's the council's wishes?
I want to sign it now that there's been a discussion.
Should the proper steps be someone waiving the council rule, making a motion to sign the letter, and then we do so as a unified body?
So moved.
Second.
So your motion was?
To suspend council rules
To add this to the agenda.
Oh, we have to suspend it.
We have to suspend the rules.
Yeah, first you suspend the rules, then you can make the actual motion.
So the motion was made by Councilor Kolowski, seconded by Councilor Matto.
Here.
No, I thought she's,
I said so moved.
So
He
moved.
just suggested it.
No, she said so moved, and I seconded.
oh, I'm sorry, Councilor Matto made the motion, was seconded by Councilor Kier.
So discussion?
I just want to be clear.
Well, we have to do a roll call, that was to suspend the rules.
Can I speak to why I would suspend the rule?
Yes.
Counselor O'Hearn?
Because you want to put it on,
Well, I do, but I just want to be clear. Assistant Mayor Dameron made a comment, and the problem I have is we really do need to hash out what the policy is going to be. It's not just about the specific letter, but
Sure.
and I
But we have
welcome
this.
that, but we have this right now. We can put it in
I think
council
we need to put
rules,
that on maybe the next agenda or wherever it fits. But
which
let's get this
is
done right now.
fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Counselor O'Hearn?
No.
Counselor Kier?
Yes.
Counselor Sweetser?
Yes.
Sister Mayor Dameron?
Yes?
Counselor Matto?
Yes.
Counselor Kolowski?
yes.
Counselor Contois?
Abstain.
Counselor Stone?
No.
Mayor Lovett?
Yes. You want to put it on the agenda?
No, we would make a motion to, since the rule is suspended, we would make a motion to draft that letter of support.
Okay.
Is that your motion?
That motion was made by
Wait a
Counselor.
minute, I haven't even
I
finished
don't-
this part.
I wasn't making the motion, I was
Okay.
just saying that's what would be done.
A motion to do what?
To
Draft the letter.
draft the letter of
Draft and
support
sign on
and sign on behalf of the city council.
Second.
Draft a letter of support for
Sweetwater Hydroelectric's grant request.
Yep, Mike Hanson.
Sweetwater.
Sweetwater Hydroelectric grant proposal.
Who made the motion?
I did, Abigail Kier.
And I'll second.
Sister Mary Diane, yep. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
You can ask if
Do you want to
any
ask
opposed.
for no votes?
Any names?
Oh, I'm sorry. Any no votes?
Andy O'Hearn opposes. So we can't hear
Down.
him speak up.
Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to throw that in. Are there any other future agenda items or directives?
I think we just added one, right?